Hello everyone from Japan. This is Eddie, Flat Earth Banjo, and it's 10:08 a.m. Thursday morning here in Japan. Let's talk about one thing that's going on behind the scenes. They are planning to fake a flight from Buenos Aires to Perth. This conversation has been going on. One of my subscribers sent me some screenshots from a conversation between two parties, also involving this guy, Kelsey. We talked about him. He challenged flat earthers to fly from Buenos Aires to Melbourne. And now he's behind this. I challenged him back. I told him, well, if you can fly over Antarctica, why don't you fly from Buenos Aires to Perth? And now it seems that he's in the work behind the scenes trying to get this done. We've been talking among ourselves on how would they be able to fake such flight. So first of all, let me share these screenshots with you. These are conversation between one person who is trying to lease a plane to get a private jet to fly him from Buenos Aires to Perth. So here it is. I have redacted the name of the company. This is a quote, get a private jet quote from Argentina, South America to Perth here. And the next one, trip number 505589, estimated costs by aircraft category. Please note the prices quoted below are computer-generated estimates. Actual pricing may vary due to aircraft availability, aircraft positioning, and regional pricing factors. Your dedicated charter consultant will provide you with all-inclusive prices on available aircraft for your approval. Final prices could be lower or higher than estimate shown below. So the next one, here we have category ultra long range, passengers about from 12 to 16, estimate time, flight time between 13 hours, let's say, and 15 hours. Cost in US dollars, about $238,000 to $261,000. Total cost between $315,000 $345,000. And here is the quotation for a airliner, so a bigger plane. This is Gulfstream G650ER, and this one is an airliner. I don't know which model, but estimate between $500,000 to $665,000. So this is the company giving the estimate. So let's go to the next. March 16, 2022. Prices include landing fees. Federal excise tax if applicable, segment fees if applicable, international fees if applicable. So price do not include, but is subject to modification for catering, ground transportation, scheduled overnights, additional flight time due to diversion for weather or other reason beyond the control of the ice ages or hangar charges due to icement, weather, or other special service or requests. All quotations are subject to availability and are not confirmed until we have a signed contract, secured funds, and confirmation from the operator. Amounts are based on SWIFT wire transfer. Credit cards purchase will incur additional transaction fees imposed by our credit card processor. You may provide a credit card for a hold, pending a SWIFT wire transfer received prior to departure. So let's go to the next one. So this is the airliner, the Gulfstream G650ER, manufactured in 2019, maximum passengers 13, ultra long range. I hear some pictures of the airplane they're planning to use. More redacted parts here, but here is origin. Buenos Aires, Argentina, destination, Perth International Airport, Perth, Australia. Friday, April the 8th, time 8 o'clock, and distance. It gets interesting, this part here. This is the company. I have a Gulfstream GV that can do it for $252,000. I assume they will refuel in South Africa, so this is very important right here, South Africa. Quick turn, maybe 40 minutes on the ground. Let me know if that works. And I will send the contact. All right, so when I wrote my book, 16 Emerging Landings Proving Flat Earth, Some people say, well, why did you use the Google Maps instead of the Great Circle map? So let me explain why. Here is Google Maps. Google Maps, and I love how they give this away. See here, Buenos Aires, Perth, with a stop in South Africa. Now, this is what happened to the Great Circle Route right here. They say, oh, yeah, the Great Circle Route is the shortest way. So what happened to it? So automatically they will take you to South Africa. Why? Because Earth is not a ball. There's no way. We have to look on the flat Earth map to see how this thing goes. So let's go back to the slides. All right. So here is the person who wants to book the flight. Buenos Aires to Perth on April 8th, 2022. Thanks for the reply. I'm waiting. I'm wanting to fly direct over Antarctica from Buenos Aires to Perth. Is this possible? Kind regards. The response. Hi. It is theoretically possible, but due to the rules for oceanic flights, the plane must always be within 3 hours of a viable runway in the event of an emergency. None of the operators can legally quote the flights over Antarctica. The fuel stop will be coordinated to have minimal time on the ground, and you will be able to stay on the plane. I hope this explanation helps. I'd like to fly over Antarctica myself. That would be very interesting to see. Please let me know if you want to book one of the options with a fuel stop, and I will send you the contract and secure the plane. One thing that's interesting about this one, well, if you watch the Sam Chui video when he flew from Sydney to Buenos Aires, and Captain Marcelo was explaining how they fly 10 hours in the dark. No satellite coverage, no runway to land in case of emergency. They fly completely in the dark. And now they are saying here they need it to be within 3 hours of a viable runway, which is not always the case. All right, let's go to the next one. Now this gets interesting here because Kelsey, the 74-gear pilot, gets into the conversation. So let's look at this. If anyone can find me a flight from Buenos Aires to Perth direct over Antarctica that I can go on myself, I'll give you £300,000. Kelsey said he would do it, but he has stopped responding. I've been looking for over a year, so would be happy to hear from anyone who can do it. Thanks. Well, you can't really fly over Antarctica. For $300,000, you can probably rent a Gulfstream and fly wherever you want in the world, about twice, bro. So here's Kelsey's response. 74 gear, save the money in several weeks. There will be a video and you can put your money where your mouth is. So that means they are planning the flight, of course. And how will they pull it? How they will fake it? Well, there are two ways, and we've been talking about among ourselves. Actually, there are more than two. We will be open talking ourselves about it. But one way they can pull it is, as David Wise have suggested, they can use twins, and I will explain what he means. There are several twins set. There are convention of twins, so it's not difficult for them to find 13, 14 pair of twins, have one of them in each city. And I will explain to you how they can do it. I wonder if any one of you have watched this movie called The Prestige. Well, this is a very interesting movie. It's about two magicians played by Christian Bale and that Hugh something from Australia, the guy. They are rivals. And one tried to overcome the other in magic tricks, like, win over. And but one of them, which is the guy who Christian Bale plays the magician, I think is The Prestige, is himself. He has a trick and nobody knows. Even his wife never knew. He's been married, has a daughter, and his own wife doesn't know this trick. Right? So the trick is, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you what it is. You can watch here in this scene. He has a twin brother. Nobody knows, not even his wife knew. He has a twin brother. So at certain points during the stage, there is a box, a big box with a fake floor. So he gets into one of the boxes, closes the door, and in a split of a second, he appears in another box, which is positioned about 15 feet from the first box, and he comes out of there. So that's the trick. The whole movie is about this trick, and the other guy is trying to... Nobody knows he has a twin brother. So this is what David Wise is suggesting, okay? They can easily fake it. Let's pick here the map. So we have here the flight on the flat Earth map. This is the way it has to go. There's no other way because Earth is flat. This is the trajectory. Buenos Aires, stop in South Africa, and Perth. So the way they will fake this is by doing this. They will have two Gulf Streams, not one, but two. And let's say they will have half set of twins on this plane, another half here. There will be 26 people total, 13 in this flight, 13 on this one here. This one takes off Buenos Aires. They show on the news, everywhere, but nobody knows that another flight is departing South Africa. This one, they will film arriving in Perth 12, 13, 14 hours later, while this one is still on the way. Now they filmed this one here, departing Buenos Aires, and they just forget about this plane. This is plane A. Let's call plane A, airplane A. And then after this one takes off, all the attention will be on this one the moment it arrives in Perth 12, 13 hours later. So that's one way that they can fake it. This is one way they can have it, right? They have one plane departing Buenos Aires, while the other one is also departing South Africa. They just show airplane A leaving Buenos Aires, and they show airplane B arriving in Perth. This is one way they can do it. Another way they can do it is by faking, just like they faked the moon landing. They will have they are already filming the arrival in Perth. They are now filming. They have, just like the moon landing, when they showed on TV in 1969, they probably start filming that in 1968, or at least 6 months before. They have the time to edit, and that's how they did it. So I think that's how they will be pulling this one off. So I am telling you now, I have been telling this, if you guys watched some of my videos about a month ago, I brought this thing up because that's when I start getting these screenshots, and since sometime in March planning, actually they've been planning for much longer than that, okay? So this is just a heads up for you to understand. They will be trying to fake this flight. They will probably succeed because they have the press on their side, all the agencies, and all they have to do is fake the data. They can use simulation. They will simulate the flights in the computer, furnish that data to companies like Flight Radar 24, and pass it as a real flight. But be aware, keep an eye on these guys. They are liars, and they will lie their way to convince people we are on a spinning ball Earth in space. But Earth is flat and stationary. So this is all for today, guys. Take care. See you next time. Bye-bye.